Hi everybody, hi everyone. Welcome to a little bonus episode of the Twinset and Purl knitting podcast. So we've got together for Christmas and we thought we'd just share some of our favourite knits of 2022. Little Christmas present for you. Little bonus episode. So
we're sat here with a nice cup of tea.
Oh yes, I've got some hot Ribena, winter Ribena, which for non-British people is a blackcurrant drink with some winter spices, mulled spices, and you have it hot. So it's like a non-alcoholic mulled wine, and it's delicious. Yeah. It's one of my favourite things about winter in this country. And we've got a little mince pie.
So we're probably not going to eat them while
no, but it's this is traditional Christmas treat in the UK. It's like short sweet pastry with some mincemeat.
Everyone's heard of mince pies.
Yeah, but it's a little treat we'll have afterwards because we won't eat on screen.
And I've just got Earl Grey tea, my favourite.
So,
what you can go first.
Okay. I'm going to go in the order that I knit them. Oh, shall we introduce ourselves? Is that good?
Maybe
this is the first time you've met us.
Then this is a knitting podcast, and you might want to start on a different episode, maybe. But I'm Rachel,
and I'm Jo.
We're twins who spend a lot of time together, and we don't live near each other, but we try and get together. And we design together as Twinset and Purl. So some of our favourite knits of 2022 are our own designs, but some of them aren't.
Yeah.
And should we just take it in turns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in the order that I knit them.
That's fine. I can't remember, or maybe I can.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So my first design is my Morton Street cowl. This is one of the first designs of 2022.
Oh right.
The yarn that I knit it in is from Beautiful Knitters, which is a yarn store in London.
I don't think you have to see it up close.
Yeah,
it is beautiful.
It's on their mohair base, which Chelsea could be called Chelsea base, and this is the colour Wolf. And it's knit with 2 strands held together. So some of my testers knit fingering weight versions.
I'm going to have to knit her.
I've knit several of these now, maybe 7.
Really?
This is my favourite.
The
first one is my favourite. In a mohair, it's very, very drapey, and I just love it. Keeps you warm, nice and snuggly. And it's a slip stitch pattern.
In a bandana cowl.
I designed it because I like a shawl, but I wanted a cowl, and it's a shawl shape, but in a cowl. And since I've done this, I've seen loads.
Yeah, but they do
different
constructions to yours. Yours is really is like a shawl.
Yeah,
that's joined together.
Yeah,
no, I love it.
So that's my number 1.
Okay, what's my number 1? I guess then the first thing I knitted this year is my.
It's not.
So I knitted one prior to 2022, but this one I did knit in 2022, and this is my amethyst. I wear it, so it's. I've just got it off the pile in my bedroom. It's a sweater, a circular
amethyst glow.
Yeah, the amethyst glow sweater. And this was designed in collaboration with Botanical Yarns. So Sophie dyed this beautiful navy blue just for me and then quite a few of my testers actually used the same colour, but it's beautiful. And then we picked 3 contrast colours to do the colour work, and it's designed so that this diamond, which is quite difficult to see, is in line, but the pattern around it gets bigger until you get to the bottom.
It's really interesting to me how the pink looks completely different when it's with the yellow than when it's with the white. So it doesn't, it looks like it's a different colour.
Oh right, yeah.
I think in the camera you can really,
Yeah.
it does look like it's,
And there's the colourwork has texture, so there's pearls. I think that makes it really different as well. So it's a circular yoke. It's quite deep, and then there's a bit of raglan, but it's
So
on
it's a
the
bit
sleeves.
swancho-y.
Yeah, a bit swancho-y.
not, I mean, still, you can still wear
Yeah.
a jacket with it. I think.
And then it's got this, so it's got this broken rib collar and broken rib sleeves, which kind of cling like a tight fitting but comfortable because they do stretch.
Yeah,
And
the yarn's lovely.
yeah, and then it's got, I don't know how long the body was, can't remember.
It's about 10 inches, 12
But
inches.
yeah, so that's the Amethyst Glow.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
So I also knit an Amethyst Glow, but I didn't get to choose the colours,
She wasn't very happy.
and I don't
Wear it.
wear it very often. But I might, now I've seen that again, I might get it out.
You should.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
No, I really enjoy.
Even if I did design it
I really
myself.
enjoyed knitting it, and
Yeah.
even though it's on
like
on small needles,
Yeah.
but it's and it creates a beautiful fabric as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was knitting the next two at the same time, but we'll start with one that's not my
Okay.
one of my patterns. Faye. So this is a summer sweater. I think it's called the Faye.
Yeah.
Can't remember the
Irene
designer
Lynn?
name. Irene Lynn, yes. And it's a lace with bobbles and then a cable and some twisted knit stitches, and then it's got these big frilly
You've worn it much?
sleeves. No, because it got really hot. As soon as I'd finished
You
it,
probably could have worn that in the heat though.
yeah, I don't know, it just felt quite, it was too hot. But because I didn't finish it until towards the end of the summer, but I'm looking forward to wearing it, very much looking forward to wearing it
And this
next
is knitted
year.
in drops.
Oh.
Bonlin? No, not Bonlin.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's drops. I know. It's different. It's a DK one, isn't it?
Mm.
Shall we look it up? We can look it up.
Yeah.
I love this colour. It's like a pinky mauvey grey, pink grey.
Yeah.
Do you say what it is on there?
I do, yeah. Just trying to find it. There we are. Drops Bell
Drops Bell.
in the colourway Rose Water. And that's the Faye Summer Top by Irene Lynn. So prepared. Sorry guys.
We will put all the information in the description
I
box.
really enjoyed knitting it, and I finished it when I had COVID.
Right.
Because I wasn't working, and I sat.
You
and
didn't
knit.
have COVID in the hottest time of the year, did you? It got hotter. Didn't it get hotter after?
It was the beginning of July. I had COVID.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's and then there's two different ways you can do the bottom: a twisted rib or this stocking stitch. And I decided to do the stocking stitch so that it matched the
Yeah, it looks lovely.
colours.
Might have to borrow it.
cuffs. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yes. No, it's lovely. It's quite
I
drapey.
know I might wear it tomorrow for Christmas.
With a long
Long
sleeve
sleeve.
top, didn't you? Yeah, you can do that. Of course you can. Cool, so that's my number two.
My number 2
of 2022.
is another of my designs, and this was for the Botanical Yarn Sock Club. These were April, and they're the sparkling fountain socks, and it's got this design like right down the outside, and then there's one halfway down the inside of the leg. And I loved it so much that we designed the sparkling fountain sweater with this design on as well. But it's just twisted stitches, and it's amazing how...
It looks lovely.
I mean, the design is from the Twisted Stitches book by Nora Gorn, and I just love it. And this is the sparkling fountain colourway that Sophie designed for the sock club. But you can get this pattern in our Ravelry store now. So that's I love knitting them. I love designing them. And
a pattern like that goes quite quickly, doesn't it?
Because you want to get on to the next row. I can't believe that I haven't knitted another pair. And I haven't worn these yet because I keep them for so long after I design them before I wear them. But I will definitely wear them. And this sheet next year.
So my number 3 is one of my designs. A lot of these are my designs. 3 out of 5 are my designs because I did so much design this year that I didn't actually knit many other people's stuff. So
which round does it go?
This way round. And this is Rhubarb Fizz, which is a crescent shawl. It's knit in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk.
It's lovely.
In the colourway Rhubarb Juice, which is this lovely dusky pink.
It's got a lovely drape, hasn't it?
And the reason I've picked this design is because the construction of it was so different. The pattern on it I love. It's a tuck stitch pattern, so you knit so many rows and then you dip down and drop the stitches and pick up, so you get this like tucked design. A lot of people knit it with that as the right side, so it doesn't really matter which way round
it goes.
You wear it, but it has this fancy garter border,
and believe it or not, you start here.
You start at the bottom and you increase on every single row, both sides, and you get this shallow crescent. The testers really liked it because you have 6 rows where you're knitting quite plain knitting, and then 1 row where you're doing something a bit different. And it just became a really nice.
How many of these
design.
did you knit?
One. I started a second one to see if it would work in a merino yarn, because this is obviously a pure silk which doesn't have so much stretch as a merino, and it was fine. And my testers knit it in all sorts of things, and they love it. Cool. So that's a nice summer for me. It was a nice summer project.
Put it on for me. Let's see it on. Model it. Is that how you do it? Yeah. I know, put you on the spot.
No, and I might tie it a bit there.
Put you on the spot.
But have the flouncy bit showing. But it's the first pattern where I had to do little photographs and stuff to show how to actually do it, because
I did your video before that.
Yeah, but it's also not something that people have ever done before.
Yeah.
It would seem. So
we need to design another one with different.
Yeah, different pattern. But no, I really like it.
Cool. So I think the next thing I see is this. And this is loved by many, many people. This is a ranunculus. And there are 2 reasons why this is one of my favourite knits. So I knitted one more other ranunculus before, and I didn't choose, it was black in linen yarn, and it's just too big.
Was it before there was lots of sizes?
It was before there were lots of sizes, but there was increase for people with a bit certain bust size. So I did do increases, and then it was just too big. So I can't remember how I picked which size to knit of this, but I definitely didn't want the a huge amount of positive ease that is suggested in the pattern. So I think I knitted size 3. But the other reason that I love it is the colourway. It's Fibre Fox merino singles and Surrey held double, and the colourway is Eloise, and it's the colourway that Georgie designed or came up with for me for my Eloise socks, which we knitted in collaboration. So I bought 2 skeins of the Eloise merino singles, and then I hunted for Surrey to go with it, and I ended up with lovely Ishrat's fresh water Surrey, and it's beautiful, and I love it together. And I had to use a little bit of the Surrey from my sparkling fountain because I ran out of Surrey, because there's less Surrey than in 2 skeins than in.
You got that out of 2 skeins?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
and a massive long sleeves. So I literally had a little nugget left. So I love it. Yeah, just wear it more often.
Well,
yeah,
now
don't wear my
when the
knits.
weather's cold.
Yeah,
It would be nice and snuggly.
yeah. So that was
How long did it take you to knit?
a week, I think. Yeah, once you get on it, you can't stop.
And it's big needles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 6mm needles. I think I did the yoke in a day and a half. And then I got onto Sleeve Island, and that goes a bit slower, doesn't it? As we all know.
So I'm going to take this one off because my next is one of my shawls. And this is the Morris shawl, which is coming out in January. The pattern is currently being test knit.
I love it.
And this yarn, again, is from Beautiful Knitter.
It's their Victoria base.
Yeah, and it's in the colourway Pine. And Morris is a massive...
And it's sport weight merino camel.
Yeah, and it's so lovely. And it's massive. I think it's 76 inches long. But it's so, the construction of it is also a little bit unique. You knit it from tip to tip. It's a crescent, so it just has different rates of increases and decreases to get that crescent shape. So a lot of people, when they do a tip to tip shawl, increase at the same rate to the middle, stop, and then decrease at the same rate to get you back to where you started. But I wanted to see if I could get a crescent, and
So you did some maths.
And there's 3 different rates of increases to get the crescent, and then a straight bit, and then and it's really I really love it because you've got this. It's a garter rib, so it's knit 3, purl 3 in a garter, and then this lovely lace pattern around the edge, which is inspired by a William Morris wallpaper, and the shawl's called Morris after my granddad Morris. So it's lovely and squishy. You end up, because you knit it tip to tip, the most stitches you have on your needle is 128. So it's a nice.
So the rows
are short in comparison to a normal crescent, where you'd probably have, I don't know, on some Stephen Wests you have like 900
You'd probably
stitches.
you'd have more than that on that because it's massive.
Yeah. So
and it also makes it lie differently because there's no.
Yeah, the tops. It's an I-cord.
Yeah, there's no.
It's an I-cord edge on the other side.
Because the increases aren't on the outside of the crescent.
Yeah.
That's really clever.
And I just steamed this, so it needs hardly any shaping at all, whereas the rhubarb fizz has to be drastically blocked into shape. But yeah, this is I love it. And I'm currently designing another shawl in with the same construction. So so this is coming in.
So we're going to have like the bandana cowl era
Yeah. Although these take longer to knit.
And a crescent shawl.
So I could knit a bandana cowl in a week.
Yeah, but you're knitting your third one of those.
Yeah, but they take longer. They do take longer to
Yeah.
knit, but it's quite a satisfying knit. And yeah, so that's coming out hopefully the middle of January.
Yay! I am gonna knit one. And cast one on.
Love a Morris.
Right. So my
Number 5.
number 4 is another pair of socks, and again there are 2 reasons why I love these. I love the colourway. It's Stripey Cat Yarns in the Blame It on the Weatherman colourway.
It's gorgeous.
And it is just gorgeous. I'm going to start to wear them. Actually, there's 3 reasons.
worn them yet.
No, there's 3 reasons why I love them. I can't believe it, but I've done short row heels in self-striping, but as a part of these are the afterthought heels, and I loved them. And that's what I'm going to do now when I have stripy socks, is afterthought heels in the stripes, because they look amazing. And the other reason that I love these is that I put on the front, well, on the side of each sock, this is the middle panel, the panel of lace from Hohi's Moonlight socks, and it just moves the yarn, the stripes ever so slightly, and it's one of my favourite. The Moonlight socks are my favourite sock pattern of somebody else's. Obviously, I have many favourites of my own. It was very hard to choose which one because, you know, when it comes down to it, there's always Colin. I didn't pick any Bridgerton sock.
Was Colin this year though?
Colin was this year, definitely. I knitted him when we were at an Unravel in February. But yeah, those were my November self-striping socks, and no, October. And I do love them, and I should wear them.
You should start
shouldn't I?
wearing them. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just a...
The colourway's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I might have to wear them because they're all my colours.
Ooh, they're staying with me.
Although I've got a bit of a theme
Yeah.
going on.
You have to take that off now to show your 5th one, because you're wearing it.
Yeah. So my 5th one is my Easy V by Caitlin Hunter, Boyland Knitworks, and I finished this a few weeks ago. I showed it on the last podcast. It's colour work on the bottom of the sleeves and obviously on the yoke. It's got this interesting V neck construction where you do this kind of saddle shoulder and get the increases.
It's got the same on the back.
Yeah, same on the back. I knit it in Willow and Lark Poetry is the main yarn, and then I can't remember what the colourway was.
I can't either. We'll find it and put it in.
Beige sand, something like that. And then the original was done with Spin Cycle.
I can really see the sparkle now.
Yeah, the original was done with Spin Cycle yarn, which I don't have any of. And it's 3 different colours that get repeated, sort of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I use 3 different colours of mohair, and then between the 2 I did these 3 with a beige and these 3 with a grey sparkle mohair.
It's lovely.
And I absolutely love it. I love this pattern. She's just brought out a lace
Hula.
yeah, something like that. A lace version, which I'm going to knit at some point next year.
Is that DK?
Yeah, but I like the way that I like the sleeve, the fact that the cuff isn't tight. I like the little couple of rows of knit after the rib, so that you get that edge. Just love it. But I do need to wear a t-shirt yes, the other day I wore it with a vest underneath, and the mohair is, I find, in certain places.
So it doesn't irritate you here?
It doesn't irritate me here. Irritates me just there.
Yeah. How annoying.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
can
yeah,
wear,
but
you can wear a t-shirt because
I
it
love
doesn't
it.
show.
And there's nothing on the bottom. It's just a plain
Rib.
bottom.
Yeah, it's nice.
Plain rib. I love it. Cool. But there is, I have got a colour theme
Yes, you have.
going on here.
So my last one is a hat, and I don't know if you watch our podcast, you'll know that I've been a bit hat crazy this year. And so it was difficult to choose one, and Jo might have to model it for me because I've got my hair in a ponytail, so it won't look brilliant. But this is the Tied Knots hat by Justina Lukowska.
It's
And
beautiful. Is it double knitting or?
Yeah,
sort of thing, isn't
it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's these lovely cables, and I knitted mine in Moordale by Rowan, which when you block it becomes this amazing, it's just lovely. So Jo will I can't remember the name of the colourway, I can find out. Is it brass? Is it bronze? We said it doesn't look very bronze.
No.
But yeah, it's got just the right amount of slouch, or you can have it if you want it like a hipster one. And I would definitely knit it again. And
How much yarn did you use?
less than 100 grams. It was a very close between this
Do you
and my
think-
on the sea train
Do you think
hat.
if I unpick the one I've just knit, the hat I've just knit in the Rose of Pomar, and doubled it and knit this, would I get out of the rest of out of one ball?
Oh
figure?
yeah, I think so.
I think I prefer this. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you would. It's lovely.
Yes. I like it. There.
Yeah, that's our
That's
five
our
favourite.
top five.
So,
Very quickly, do you know what you're going to knit? What patterns you want to knit in 2023?
I've just bought from Oxford Yarn Store a Rowan felted tweed V-neck vest that I'm definitely going to knit. I might even cast it on tomorrow, so that might be knit before 2023 starts. What do I want to knit? Oh, I'm knitting. My goal is to knit a pair of socks out of my Bird Street yarn every month. So last year I did stripy socks, and next year I'm doing Bird Street yarn. So I'm gonna, on the 1st of January, I will post a picture of my 12 skeins that I've picked. I have more than 12 skeins of Bird Street yarn. And yeah, what pattern I'm gonna knit first. So I'm gonna knit. I think I'm gonna try and knit my patterns in them. I'm not designing new patterns.
No.
Although there's one of their yarns called Falling For You that I wanted to design as this specific cable, so I might knit that in it because I'm sure they're going to do it next year. And I want to knit sweaters out of my sweater quantities of yarn, but I do have 2 to finish first. So yeah, that's my New Year's resolution has nothing to do with my yarn stash. I want to finish things before I start next thing. I don't want to have lots of whips on the go. That's my New Year's resolution.
Well, I'm going to be resolving all my sock whips in January. That's my January challenge to myself. I think I've got 4 pairs started. So
That's a good
4,
goal.
yeah. So some of them I've knit a whole sock. So I've got 1 sock to knit, and it seems quite reasonable.
Yeah.
And then as far as sweaters go,
You didn't buy yarn to knit sweaters.
no, I bought a book by Kim Hargreaves, and there's a sweater in there that I like, and there's also, which is also a V-neck vest, and there's one in the Santa's Garn, most recent Santa's Garn book that I really like, and one out of Liner 16.
Yeah, I like the one out of Liner 16 with the cables down the sleeves.
Maybe like March, we should have that as a
knit along.
knit along. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we're coming up to half an hour, so that's perfect.
Yes. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, have a really good holiday season. Have some nice time off with family and friends.
And we'll be back in 2020.
We'll be back in the new year, soon in the new year. And yeah, lovely to have shared our year with you.
We are hoping, we're going to try and go to Waltham Abbey Yarn Festival show, aren't we? So if anyone else is going there, let us know in the comments below. And let us know what your favourite knits are. And not necessarily of 2022, just what your favourite knits are and what you're planning to knit next year.
Yeah.
We love people to comment. And Jo doesn't have access to the podcast account, so I usually answer most of the comments. But I do answer.
She likes to be in control.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe. We'd love to share the rest of our knitting designs and our knitting projects with you.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.